We are here on our second to last day. We're at the Henry Ford Museum again, and we came in this morning to park, went last night to a supercharger and found something that wasn't on PlugShare, which is Ford has J1772 connectors going at a full 48 amps and 9 kilowatts, which is awesome, right here in the parking lot. And if I had known that, wouldn't have had to gone to that supercharger last night, which is unfortunate, but it's here. It's not on PlugShare. We'll probably be trying to add that. Have never done that before, so I'll figure it out. But we're gonna go enjoy our day and come back to a fully charged car. We're done at the Ford Museum, and car is all charged up to 100%. Kicked it up to 90 while we were here, in about an hour before we set to leave we bumped it up to 100%, and we are ready to go and hit the road. 15 minutes ago we turned the air conditioning on and everything, so it should be all nice to go for us when we get in the car. So we'll check in from the road, probably at the next supercharger. Hi everyone, we just pulled into a supercharger in Marshall, Michigan. We made a quick detour to see the Honolulu House Museum. Didn't stop, just drove by. Cool building, look it up if you want to. Don't technically need to stop, but need to use the restrooms, and while we're here we might as well plug in and see how far we get while we're using the restroom. Distance since the last charge, 105 miles, 33 kilowatt hours, used 316 watt hours per mile. Pretty high, but it is super hot today. Coming out of Detroit, it was 94 according to the car, and we were blasting the AC pretty hard, and that was probably the result of the hit. And so it just is what it is. We're fine. We're gonna get plugged in and charge for just a little bit, and then we'll be on our way. So we're back on the road. Ended up charging a little bit longer at Marshall than I wanted to. I had a nice gentleman pull up and started asking me questions about Teslas and how Teslas work and how long do you charge. And of course, I helped him out as much as I could. So we ended up charging into the upper 70s. So enabled us to get to one more stop down the road toward home in Iowa. So we actually have just one more stop before our final destination in Peru, Illinois tonight. So we'll check in when we get to Michigan City. Just landed in Michigan City, Indiana, and just passed into the central time zone. This leg of the trip, 127 miles, 35 kilowatt hours consumed, 280 watt hours per mile, which is a little more than our overall average. We just crossed in this last leg 2,000 miles on this road trip, 2,070 miles to be exact. Average 269 watt hours per mile. It is dinner time, and we're going to stop at, we're actually at a grocery store, and we're going to pick up some stuff while we're charging, and then we'll be on our merry way. Sitting here at 19% charge, and says we need to charge 20 minutes. May take us longer to do that at the grocery store, but we'll get plugged in and we'll get going. All right, like most times we have overcharged. We're up to 79%. This was a V3 charger, so it got the low end charged up pretty quick. It says we've got 125 miles to get to our destination, a little over 2 hours to Peru, Illinois. So we will check in and see how well we did on that leg. Okay, we made it to our final destination for the night, which is our last night on this trip. We're in Peru, Illinois, but we did not stop at a supercharger. We're sitting at 28%. Tomorrow we're going to go to Mathiasen State Park, which isn't too far from here, and then back to the supercharger before we head out of town. We just didn't want to charge tonight for very long. It's been a long day, hot day. But so we're here for the night, 28%. So a tip as far as if you're concerned about battery drain in your car while it's sitting at a hotel, don't worry about it. There's actually just two things you need to do. First, turn off Sentry Mode. Sentry Mode will draw battery during the night. Turn it off and then don't check your app. Don't touch it, don't open it. You do those two things, your battery drain will be basically zero in the morning. You don't need to worry about it. You get up and you go. So until tomorrow morning, have a good night. All right, we just pulled into the supercharger at Peru with a 14% state of charge. We took the morning to do some hiking in a state park. And so we need to get charged up here so we can make it to our next destination, which is my mom and dad's. And then from there, we'll make our way home. Says we need to do 20 minutes charge. We also are at a Hy-Vee, which is very common for Iowa and Illinois. So we're gonna swing back in there and pick up some supplies to make a road lunch, and we'll get going. So let's get plugged in. Oh, forgot to say, 152 miles since last charge, 43 kilowatt hours consumed, 280 watt hours per mile, which is pretty close to our overall average. Total trip, 2,222 miles so far. 270 watt hours per mile, which is pretty darn good for this car. Quite a bit lower than our overall average of 303. So let's get plugged in. All right, we are all charged up. We stopped at the Hy-Vee to get some stuff to make a car lunch. We sat here and ate it, watched a little Netflix, got done eating. Turns out we're at 91%. We can actually make it to my parents' house and then all the way back home, hopefully with what it says 23%. So this is the chart. This is the course that we're gonna chart right now, and hopefully then we'll end our trip with some final thoughts, and we'll let you know how it goes. So let's get unplugged. All right, well, we made it home. We're actually in my garage. Was able to make it to my parents' house and all the way home on one charge, although it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. First half of that trip out of Peru was terrible. We're doing like 350, 400 watt hours per mile. I think due to a headwind, but coming back halfway, it cooled off. But for this leg, 168 miles, 53 kilowatt hours consumed, 315 watt hours per mile, which makes this the worst leg yet, I believe. Total trip, 2,390 miles, 652 kilowatt hours consumed at an average of 273 watt hours per mile. 10 days, 2,390 miles. Great trip. Saw a lot of different things from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan all the way into Canada. First time I've ever been in Canada. First time I've taken a Tesla into Canada. Niagara Falls were great. Coming back home, good overall 10 days. Even did some camping there in the middle. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Even better, hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out, because we have videos like this coming out all the time. So until the next time, catch you later.